Hello everyone and welcome back to Efrain Rodriguez Jr. show. In today's episode, I'm gonna start, I had to really took a plane and went to the White House in Washington, D.C. Actually, I'm right sitting in my studio in Palma Sola, Villalba, Puerto Rico. And if you want to hear more of this, please subscribe to the channel, give us a like, and share this information with other people. We are gonna bring you the opinion of me. I'm being around. I haven't really give you my whole summary of everything that I've been doing, but in these situations, I just want to pitch in. I'm just giving you my 2 cents in any of this situation that is going on in the island of Puerto Rico. Today, we're really staying in the island of Puerto Rico. In the newspaper, the spokesperson, El Vocero, the White House support the effort of Congress to define the political future of Puerto Rico. The administration of the President Joe Biden react to the draft legislation presented last week by the leader of the Democratic majority of the federal lower house, Steny Hoyer. Senator Menendez also spoke. Washington, D.C. We are pleased, the White House, that Congress has taken the initial step to address the future political status of Puerto Rico. We applaud Congress for taking the leadership role in the issue and urge all participants to move forward in a spirit of collaboration. Our administration will also continue to support Puerto Ricans in their effort to determine their own status. You guys already know we are being 105 years, and since Bush this way, everybody has been promising. Yo, Bush was a very long time ago. It's 2022 right now. So it's been a long time and nothing. Obama came, same thing. And Trump, unfortunately, what he did was just throwing toilet paper roll at us. A lot of criticism about that, but there is a community and there is a sense that I'm about to tell you today that this is reflected on the Puerto Ricans in the island. And if you don't realize that yet, it's because you live in the bubble. I came from out. I lived my last 15 years in New York. So was just working there, doing everything as normal, as usual, until my dad passed away. And I just moved here to Puerto Rico and staying around my mom and just, to take care of her, even if I'm in my own house, but, at least I'm closer to her than being in New York if something happens. So I got involved in this kind of opinion program because of what was going on, how the governor of Puerto Rico was handling the situation with the school and every system and all the new craziness that was going on. I was like, why they're doing that? So you already know that I've been presenting the numbers, the percentage, and it's still like I'm refusing to go moron or bruto in Spanish. So I'm refusing to become something that I don't want to become. So that's why I create this channel and I start giving my opinion. So with all that said, what is happening with the status is something that even Joe Biden, when he was running, hey, everybody, when you run, hey, you promise the world. But when you're there and you have everything in your hands to make it happen, and then you say, whoa, we need to slow this down because it's going to be against us. And for a lot of reasons. So now they had the votes on the chamber, on the lower house, and they don't have the votes on the Senate, but they're still doing all this. So it's more like a publicity stunt at this point. Listen, it's my 2 cents. You don't have to really agree with them. You don't have to be happy with me. I don't care. You know, this is what is going on right now. And with the ELA and everything else is happening, even the Department of Defense was saying like, why you're not including the ELA? So it's like, it's a shifty, you know, everybody can talk and say something, but who's doing something? Nobody's doing nothing. So I presented to the ELA before, to the party of the PPD, my opinion on this. I know something has to die, but at least you will stay some kind of, you know, continue some kind of ideology and representation for that group. Because right now the PNP, they're just liberals pretty much. So we need like a conservative side of the house, because we always gonna have independence. We always gonna have people that are gonna shift to the left or shift to the right, and that's fine. We need that too. So I think I spoke way too much about this. The other news that I'm about to tell you, listen, I went through the newspaper first hour. Why I got the spokesperson twice? I guess, yeah, the other one is not the spokesperson. The other one is the ND, New Day. Okay, so what this is in all over, you know, it's sad what is going on with this situation. And you know what I call it sad? What is right here behind me is he's turning himself in to go and do his 41 a month sentence. His name is Raphy Pina. When surrendering to the serve jail, I had no tears left. He arrived accompanied with an Nati, Natasha, and 3 of her children. After eating a sandwich and taking some sugar pills, producer Raphy Pina turned himself in at the stroke of 3 p.m. before the Federal District Court in Atoray to begin his serving of 41-month sentence imposed on him by the federal judge Francisco B. Sosa. The only thing that I'm going to say about this situation, it is sad. I saw all the comments and the newspaper. Man, it's a lot of hate in the island of Puerto Rico. It's a lot of hate. I'm not in defense of this guy. I don't even know this guy. I don't know the guy. I don't know what he did right, what he did wrong, listen, who doesn't have a past? Hey, everybody has a past, you know? Did you know my past? You don't know my past. Will you forgive my past? Will you forget the horrible things that I did? Maybe you don't know them yet. But there's a thing. Me as a Catholic, there's one thing. We'll live the present. The past, way back there. And the present, I don't know. And the future, I don't know what is going to happen. It's uncertain. I don't know. I live the present. In the present, what I see here is a lot of people with hate. I'll leave my comment. I don't know. Maybe I got some response back. But I was part of the comment section. And I say this very clear. Listen, I don't know what you guys, the high moral values and whatever. For me, they taking him as an example because in Puerto Rico right now, the gun violence, it's bad. It is bad. People are, you know, like in a rampage. It's not here only. We just here in Texas, 1 teacher and 14 students, something like that. It's bad. Everybody's losing their mind. Everybody's losing their mind. This guy, I put it on the newspaper. He's a dum-dum. Yeah, lock him up. Because if he knew he was doing something illegal, come on, just return him. Say, hey, I'm going to return this. It's not supposed to have this. And just return them. But you have them and there's a law against that and you don't have the permit to have it in your house, hey, dum-dum. Let's just call you a dum-dum because that's a dum-dum move in my book. I had something illegal in here and it's going to go against me. And if somebody go into my car, did you have something illegal? If we get pulled over, listen, you know, if you live in the world of Puerto Rico, you kind of like go ahead of this before it rolls over you. Simple. Not saying nothing new. What I'm saying is there's a lot of hate. And the hate, if the hate reigns in here, there's no hope for Puerto Rico. We need to start forgiving things for whatever they do. Not trying to defend the guy, but I'm gonna remind you this. We put on the Supreme Court a person that was so lenient to people that were involved with child pornography. And to this guy, because they're using him as an example, they put the whole book on him. The whole book on him. It is bad. It is bad that, you know, for certain people that we have this certain kind of rules, but the others, we use this other kind of rules. And that's not good. In a society that needs to function, this is going to be bad because now it's him. Tomorrow could be you. And I know the way they categorized Judge Francisco Bezosa as like the conservative. Listen, he's doing what he think is the right move, but you know, there was a federal also kind of push on this because they want the guy for whatever reason. It is going crazy, and we as people in Puerto Rico, that's why it's going to be so hard for us to become part of the United States because we don't understand we the people yet. We cannot abandon our people for whatever dumb things they did. And for me, that it's the only thing that I'm going to talk about this. You like it or not, listen. We see that even the Joe Biden appointed the most unqualified person that it says, I don't know, I'm not a biology. I don't know what a woman is. And just that just tells you everything. But we have a John Wayne here, Francisco Bezosa, and he really did put the whole book on him. And I don't know how much this guy was paying the lawyers, but it should be an easy case because, you know, they were trying to get him for something else, and you know, there was some fishy things there. But listen, I was not involved. I'm not a policeman. I just can't run my mouth, and that's the way I'll do it right now with this case. Okay, so the last one, and this is the most important news. This is the most important news for today. If you're tired of listening to me and you don't listen to this one, I'm really gonna say something in here that people from my own town that's gonna be like, whoa, what are you talking about? Even if they listen to me in 10 years from now, I don't care. Maybe this channel will be here in 10 years from now. But Governor Pedro Pierluisi, and this is from the newspaper New Day, Andy, I do not see the elimination. What? 1 second. Let me just bring this ugly guy here up. Sorry. Did I just say ugly? I just spit out of my tongue. I was not really thinking right. Just my apologies. But anyways, who's looking at you? I don't know. Governor Pedro Pierluisi, I do not see the elimination of municipalities. I do not see the elimination of municipalities. Why? What is going on? The president hopes that the Fiscal Control Board yields, president mean the governor, used to claim Peñuelas, beyond pointing out that dialogue is continuing with the Fiscal Control Board so that the equalization funds administered by the Municipal Revenue Collection Center, CREAM, can be maintained. Governor Pedro Pierluisi affirmed today that he does not foresee the elimination of town halls, but rather expect the physical entity to give in to the claim. And this is something that and the municipalities are fighting, because I was listening to the radio today, AM station in the island, and I kind of understood a little bit what was going on. And in reality, now that I see the whole picture, we are product of this. And just let me just finish this paragraph, and then I will come back to that thought. Today, this spokesperson published a front page report where the mayors raised their flag before the possibility that their municipalities could become inoperative if they do not have the income from the equalization fund, while the governor continues to dialogue with the board. So there is an $88 million that, is distributed by this small municipalities, small towns, and that they use it for pick up the trash, or maintain the town, or his the payroll, everything. So they're going to take that away, because the way it works, and I was listening to the radio today, is that the big towns get a lot of income from the big like malls, and that it get distributed by the whole rest of the island. So and the problem, and I'm gonna be so blunt on this part, is that because us little towns start going into Ponce and big cities, Santa Isabel has like a shopping mall, instead of going to our own municipalities places to get our own whatever, we went out and to resource that whatever buy we were doing, for the house, sofas, bed sets, everything, Walmart, whatever, Home Depot. We went out to the big cities. So we spend our money from, we are from Villalba, for example, and then we spend the money somewhere else. So they get the benefits. Now, before, they used to distribute that benefits throughout the whole island, and that $88 million was part of, giving it back to those small places that don't have the funds, because they cannot get the revenue from the stores, because they don't have that stores in their small towns. And in my part, this is what I had to say. When this start, the big box office stores or whatever, they destroy the small shops. And when that happened, this became something that from where that revenue is going to come. And in this case, it's going to be a point that if the towns not can support themselves, it's going to be like, for example, Villalba used to be part of Juana Diaz before it become Villalba itself. So now it's going to be like they're going to kind of restructure everything else, and it's going to be the money. And now in some places, they're going to be asking the people for the money to do this pickup or whatever they want to do in the island. This is very complicated. This should be an issue in the front lines, headlines, more than the status of the island, and more than Raphy Pina. really, this is something, and especially for my part, that I grew up here in this small town. It is something that is going to affect this small town. Let's see what happened in the next future, and maybe, you know, because $88 million is nothing that we could just find under a rock, and that is the money that is being used to really help everything else. So let's see if this worked out, because it looks back for the small towns and the island of Puerto Rico. Anyway, I hope that I really explained myself very well. Leave you a comment if you have any questions or whatever. Maybe I can help you. But this has come straight out from the newspapers, like I do every single day. If you have subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And I'll be back tomorrow. And I'm not Arnold. From Palma Sola, Villalba, Puerto Rico, Efrain Rodriguez Jr. and Efrain Rodriguez Jr. Show. I'll see you tomorrow. God bless.